Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, a great sight to see. Alex Smith back at the helm, leading the Washington Redskins as they take on Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Thanks, Coach. Just north of the Delaware Expressway and east of Broad Street, we find ourselves at Lincoln Financial Field in South Philly. Just a short time ago, these Philly fans in full roar as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. Pyrotechnics ablaze. They're set to go as their Eagles will match up with the Washington Redskins. So happy to be with you, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis. And we thought it would never get here, but here we are back together. It's opening weekend of the 100th season in the NFL.
So much football to talk about. That's our main focus. But how about how much happened in the offseason? Rules changes. Overtime rules were discussed in a big way. Some superstars changed addresses. There's a whole lot to talk about in the NFL in addition to this game we're getting ready to watch.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Carson Wentz in his fourth season now out of North Dakota State, ready to bring out this Eagles offense. And he's had to sit and watch Nick Foles under center during Philly's last two playoff runs. So health will be a key for Wentz in 2019, no doubt. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. A bad start there, a big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's 2nd down. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Now Wentz. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty. And it's 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. Carson Wentz beginning his 4th NFL season here in this ball game. And the last 2 years, he was not in the postseason with his teammates, including that Super Bowl run. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Alshon Jeffrey, 52 yards. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive.
Partner, I think we can all agree that that was a pretty darn good opening drive right there. And the key to it all, going for it on 4th down earlier in the drive. Set a tone for it. And the best part, it made it pay off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Redskins under 6-year head coach Jay Gruden. They'll be led out by the #1 overall selection back in 2005 out of the University of Utah. It's Alex Smith.
I think one of the things that attracted people to Alex Smith initially was his mobility, and that's never changed. That guy's a great athlete, but he's so sharp with the football, so accurate, and takes care of it so well, he rarely puts his team in bad situations.
Now a 1st down throw. It's Smith. He's got Thompson here, complete. 12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington first down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now? Or?
I don't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touch. Long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Smith going to throw again. He's got his man. This is Jackson. And the ball is knocked out, and the Eagles have recovered.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Well, here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. Now a two-time 1,000-yard rusher for the Bears. This is Jordan Howard. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Wentz now to throw. It's brought in by Jeffrey. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. Throwing is Wentz. And he'll hit Jeffrey, complete. Only a yard on the completion. It's 2nd and goal.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's
feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. The DN, Jonathan Allen, making sure his presence is felt.
Well, that's the second time he's been sacked so far in the first half. And if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him up.
And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Able to punch it in on 3rd down. Makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
So on 4th down, the Redskins will call on Tress Way to punt it away. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. Mason Foster coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. To try again after the sack. Wentz. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The Pro Bowl tight end Zach Ertz, the intended target. And it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big game there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. This pass complete. Wentz to Ertz. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Wentz off the fake handoff to Howard. Hits his target, the tight end, Will Tye. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead. Wentz to throw again. This is taken in by Jeffrey. He's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. And he's having a nice little first half here, partner. And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. A reminder coming up later tonight, the Patriots unfurl their 6 banners. They play host to their rival Steelers. And then on Monday night, it's the one weekend of the year where you get 2 games to wrap up the week. Texans and Saints from New Orleans in the early game, then Broncos and Raiders. Vic Fangio's coaching debut, and the Raiders' final season opener in Oakland. That's the late game, 10:30 Eastern. Now on 2nd and 13. Smith. No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. Zach Brown making his presence felt in the backfield. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down. But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right? Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him. Well, very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it? It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game. A big pickup there for the Eagles' 1st down, 18 yards. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. To throw, it's Wentz. And that's complete to Jeffrey. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Defense. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy. Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Josh Doxson, and it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Smith, Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Fletcher Cox, the former Mississippi State Bulldog, ringing the cowbell there on the sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And shutting him off, now open field. Deshaun Jackson off to the races. Touchdown, Philadelphia. 72 yards on the punt return as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Here's Smith. This matchup, an important one for Week 1, an NFC East bout right off the bat. These two teams have met twice a year since 1936. 168 meetings overall, and the Redskins lead the series, but the Eagles, they have won 4 straight against these Washington Redskins. On 1st down, Smith. And he finds the tight end, Reed.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Smith. He was looking to get that one to Chris Thompson. But now it'll be 3rd down. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the 50, it's Smith. And this one completes a Reed. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. He's going to air one out. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. What a play that turns out to be. 36 yards. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
Back to throw, Smith. No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. Fletcher Cox able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. After the sack on first down, Smith. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Smith, he's got it complete to Thompson. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. Hopkins' kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So a late 3 there, and that'll help as they head into the break.
Talk about situational football and something they've worked on since the OTAs and mini camps the previous summer. They take care of the ball, get 3 points, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the second half. That's the old 2-for-1 special to finish things off.
So we are at halftime here in the opener of the 2019 regular season. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. We begin up in Charlotte, where the defending NFC champs pay a visit to Carolina. And they have just about gone to halftime with the Panthers out on top. Cam Newton's thrown a touchdown pass. From there, we head to Minneapolis to check on the Vikings at home at US Bank Stadium. And at this point, they trail the visiting Atlanta Falcons. Julio Jones, well over 100 yards receiving with 3 touchdown catches. Finally, we finish at MetLife Stadium to see what's going on with the Jets. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Buffalo Bills. Sam Darnold has a couple of touchdown passes. In our game, it's been Carson Wentz with a strong first half. His 3 touchdown passes have his guys out in front as we hand things back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
Recon, 132 fighter.
From the gun on 3rd down, Smith. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Here's Jackson. Jackson off to the races. Touchdown, Philadelphia. That'll go down as a 92-yard punt return score as his guys continue to pour it on.
Partner, the old rules about not fielding punts inside your own 10, those things are way out the window, aren't they?
Yeah, they say put your heels on the 10-yard line, but when you return it, maybe your coach doesn't say anything to you, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of special teams coaches, if they've got a special guy, they'll say, yeah, okay, you can go to the 8. But this one, he really had some guts.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now Smith throwing middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Paul Richardson there, but it'll be 2nd down.
We always talk about receivers. If the ball hits your hand, you're supposed to haul it in, but it is hard to adjust to a pass thrown a little bit behind you.
That one was all the momentum going forward. Couldn't contort his body back to grab it. On 2nd and 10, Smith. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, there's times when you see these catches that are made, and we just know the guys playing it are really wishing for college rules. Only need that one foot down instead of 2. It's awfully difficult on the sideline, isn't it?
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. Caught on the right side, Reed. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the 1st. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. First by him near the 35. Oh, I nearly broke that one. As it stands, though, a heck of a 36-yard run back. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Wentz going to throw. Jeffrey with a catch left side. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Alshon Jeffrey, 60 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. First down, here's a run with Peterson. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Here we go.
Smith now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Now it's AP, Adrian Peterson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Here's Smith. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to AP out of the backfield. 3rd down here.
Well, touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now it's Smith. And this is going to be hauled in. Oh, what a catch at the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Pilot, 64, wait. 51. Ready. 51.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and goal. They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. Back to the ground. This time it's Peterson. And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on 1st down quickly negated. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal. They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal. To throw is Smith. Out to the left here to Reed. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the 1st. 10 yards gets him closer, but now it's 4th and goal.
Completed pass brings up a 4th down situation. Do you play analytics on this one? What do your analytics tell you about going for it here? I wonder what they would say.
They tell me you're down by this margin 4th quarter, you're going. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Alshon Jeffrey working his way back out there now to help lead this offense. What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral. Because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't 4 times where the defense just falls down or breaks coverage. He's worked awfully hard, changing routes, changing areas, changing angles, and getting open for touchdowns.
We knew he'd be part of the game plan in a big way, and it has been in a very big way. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. Bird shrugs him aside. Touchdown, Philadelphia! Zach Ertz, 61 yards as his guys continue to pour it on. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week 1. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want, but there carries a little extra pressure with that as well, because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, 2 sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
that.
Super tough.
18 Gator.
Now Smith from the gun on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. All right, time for us now to discuss Alshon Jeffrey. And I think we both agreed he could have a really good game with this matchup, but over 200 yards now.
I don't think we saw it as that good. And I think what really makes it special is when games like this are occurring, it's not just getting locked in and in the zone and on a roll. It's continuing to adjust throughout the game because, you know, the defense is kicking coverages towards him, trying their best to slow him down, and he keeps getting the better of them.
Yeah, whatever they've done, it hasn't worked. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. Wentz to throw. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And now the spin. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. And on that last catch, Charles, he tops the 150-yard mark. It's one thing when your wideout gets that. When your tight end gets it, it's quite another.
We keep seeing the evolution of that position, don't we? Where we've seen where it's gone from strictly as a blocker to a guy who caught a few passes to now an integral part of the passing game, sometimes the primary receiver, because a lot of these guys have wide receiver skills, and we're seeing that on display here. Just think about the guys in the pass.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This
but
one of our
she's
guys.
singing too.
Oh, she's
on like the 5th tune.
Yeah, she left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
And is there bad blood here? I mean, go for 2 when you're up that much?
If there wasn't before, there is now. When you do that, you've just announced to everyone, you just don't care about the other side at all. All you care about is what you're doing, and they just want to pile up points.
They did. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here come the Redskins now. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Smith now to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Paul Richardson there, and it'll bring up 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Now Peterson. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. To Thompson on the draw. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 10 yards there, good for a Redskin 1st down.
If he writes a book in the offseason, he ought to title it Undaunted, because where he is on the field, back on his own side, and goes for it, and gets it, I got to give it to him on that one.
Yeah, only thing you can justify it with is it was only a few inches that they needed. If it's 4th and 2, probably doesn't do it. Hey, he got it. Give him credit.
Yeah, but if they don't pick it up,
then you're in trouble.
Yeah, they're giving points to the other team, but that's...
And this is caught at the 20. And they'll wind up all the way down inside the 20. So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Yeah, real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason, and now I'm listening to you. So for the Eagles, it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory here in the season opener. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for Washington, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody. This player's development trait is hidden. Put this player in. Now let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team. Start your week by installing your game plan.